What's up, Journey students? We are so glad you are here. We've got a special guest for you, Alan Kiker. He is the founder and director of the Community Christian Council in Haralson County. It's based in Tallapoosa, Georgia. My name is Luke Milam. I am the student minister at First Baptist Church of Bremen, Georgia, and we are making these videos to encourage and inspire you to fulfill the Great Commission 7 days a week. Alan, I remember the first time that we got together at the Mexican restaurant. David Hurst got you and me together, and I heard about you, and then you took me through a tour of the CCC, and was just amazed at how God has brought it together. I've lived here 3 years, but I came from Birmingham, and I'm still learning a lot of the needs of the community. Being on staff at a drug rehab ministry and different things like that, it was a culture shock for me. And so just to kind of get things rolling, could you share just a little bit about the demographic? Like, why is there a need for the CCC?
Well, the CCC is a poor county overall. I think 43% of our population is either at or below the poverty level. 60 some odd percent of our children receive free reduced lunches and breakfasts in school. A lot of our people, they work in jobs, where they don't receive the benefits, and they're very fragile jobs such as construction and grading, those kind of construction type things.
A lot of blue collar jobs, because I grew up doing those blue collar jobs. I mean, I was a carpenter, cabinet maker. I delivered plumbing supplies. I mean, I did whatever it took to get a paycheck, but I definitely understand that. How did you get the passion for this? I remember you telling me one time, I think it was at the Mexican restaurant, that you grew up needing, having not a whole lot in your family, and that has that kind of affected you?
It had. I was this person. My family was really poor, and we had struggles in my life. And, I was the kid that got laughed at because of the clothes, and we didn't have the nice things. I remember having outdoor toilets, and when we got our first TV, bringing it in the house. And I also remember getting the first AM radio. I thought that was a big deal. So we were really poor, and I remember people over the years bringing food into our home and giving to us.
Oh, wow. It's neat how God uses our past to open up passions and ministry opportunities in our future.
That's right. He's conditioned us for that. We've been very blessed.
How did it come about to go from, I guess, maybe a fellowship hall in your church to buying the old grocery store down the street? That, I mean, that's a big jump to go from meeting at Providence to going to that, because, I mean, there's like 400 seats in that dining room, or something along those lines, in a monster kitchen where you can serve and cook and do all these different things. How did that come about?
Give you an idea, we started out with 23 families. In 2019, we served 23,034 meals there. Gave out 295,000 pounds of food. And we're trying to expand, just not to give. We're trying to make their lives better we have a GED program now. We have a program that helps people get jobs. And then we have a free medical clinic for people that doesn't have insurance. It's just been a long journey. And the thing that God asks us the most is just to trust Him one step at a time. And that's basically the way this ministry has grown, is We've seen the need, we've acted on it, he's blessed it,
Wow.
and then he would expose something else. We would take a step and he would bless our efforts. You know, I don't know about you, but me, I would love to have the master plan from the start. But God doesn't tell that to us because one, he knows that we probably couldn't handle it, and two, it would scare us to death.
Oh,
And so he gives it to us a little at a time, and he allows us to grow into it.
absolutely. It makes it a lot more exciting to look back at the journey of where we've come from because, I mean, me, when I was in high school, I would have never dreamed that I would be doing anything like what I'm doing now. But looking back on the journey, I go, that's why God has done all these things in my life. That's why God's given me all these experiences to build me to this point. What are the needs? Because I mean, y'all are counted as one of those essential things. Y'all are feeding the needy, feeding the hungry, and I know that that's put a lot of strain on the ministry because of the growth boom that you've seen in the last couple of weeks. Uh, what are some ways that the community can get involved to help you? Our church doors have been closed. And so I went in yesterday and got some snacks from our youth room so that the mice wouldn't get a hold of them and different things. Didn't want them to go to waste. And so we donated them. And uh, looking at what we served a few weeks ago, those were a lot of the same kind of foods that you're making. But how can people get involved during this time?
We have seen a tremendous increase in in the need. And initially, when you see that, the first thing you think is, I need more stuff. I need more people.
Mm,
Unique thing about this situation is we have to consider the rest of our volunteers. So we're limiting the number of people that can actually come and work now. And each volunteer that comes in has to be screened.
mm,
And doing our very best to protect them. Something I want you to think about. If we were in Africa serving on a mission trip now, they would send us home because it's too dangerous.
wow.
But here we're in Tallapoosa, and God's called us to serve this community. And so, although we're afraid, we have faith, and that's what we're going to stand on. And we're going to continue to serve as long as He gives us help. But now, one of the best things that people could do is they could contribute financially, and they could go online to communitychristiancouncil.org, and you could mail a check to P.O. Box 815, Tallapoosa, Georgia. Or we're accepting donations for like student bags. Those kids that we were talking about earlier that
Yeah.
doesn't have breakfasts and lunches anymore. We're asking people to bring in things such as easy mac and cheese, Pop Tarts, just some things along those lines. Every week we send out a student bag along with the plates and the food boxes, but that bag, it has 4 meals and snacks. Hopefully it'll get the student through the week.
Yeah. And just to make sure that the audience understands that a lot of these kids get breakfast and lunch on a normal school day. And because school has been canceled for right now, either they don't get breakfast and lunch or their families are in a much more difficult financial situation because now they're having to buy like 2-3 times more food for their family. And it's a hard situation for everybody. But when you're in a financial crisis anyway, uh, the CCC is really meeting a big need, and not just feeding food, but also a spiritual need. And that's what I love about the CCC. One of my big things as a student minister is that they serve the same God that I serve. They have the same God that's inside of me, inside of them. How can they be salt and the light, the hands and the feet right now?
Well, some of their friends, they really need help, but they're ashamed to ask.
Mm,
Encourage them. Find ways to get them the food. If you have to come to CCC for them, we'll give you the food so you can carry it to 'em. Many of
really?
the seniors in the community, they're shut-ins now. They're lonely and they're hungry. And so you could help in transporting the food to them and meeting their needs and also offering a little encouragement while you're there.
So there's people that already come to pick up food for other people. So just because you come and get a meal doesn't mean that you're going to eat it yourself. You may take it and deliver it to somebody else.
That's right. And so our goal is limiting exposure, not only to our volunteers, but to our clients.
Mm.
So one family will come pick up for three other families and they distribute the food and it limits exposure to everybody.
Thank you, Alan, for being with us today. That was fantastic. I love the CCC. I love what it stands for. I love how it was founded. Just a, a passion and a burning to help people learn to see Jesus through meeting the physical necessities and then giving them the gospel by people walking around to different tables and different things. And so if you want to help, please go and click on their website so that you can give financially. And then if you have some types of food that you may want to donate, that would be great. And if you know of people in your neighborhood that may not have family around and they have some needs, take them a meal. Go by there and grab a meal for them and take it and just put a little note on that bag and says, "We're praying for you. We love you. Jesus loves you." Because that's at the end of the day, that's what we're doing, is fulfilling the Great Commission of Jesus Christ 7 days a week. Thank you.